Alright, what's going on, guys? I just want to have a little talk today because recently I've just seen some incredible stuff go down on the timeline. Now, I'm not going to get into too much detail here in this video because we've already talked about it on Twitter and I went pretty deep into it on stream, so I'm not going to sit here and post all the screenshots and that sort of stuff in this video. I'm not the FBI here to do an investigation or anything, but I think this is a story that everyone should hear about. You know, this is like a warning, cautionary tale, because I've been a part of the gaming community, specifically like the YouTube and gaming community, since about 2012, so I've really seen it all over the years. I'm pretty much a wise old man in gaming years, alright? I'm a seasoned veteran. It would take a lot for me to get caught up in one of these scams that just went down. So basically, let me kind of just walk you through what happened, right? Because it wasn't like this happened overnight, okay? My man pulled off the long finesse on this one, alright? This dude plotted for like a year before he pulled off this heist, okay? This is some GTA level shit right here. So, from what I understand, the way that this guy infiltrated into the community was that he had like a super amazing gaming setup, alright? And he basically flexed that on people and pretended like he was super rich or whatever, and somehow through that, everyone's like, oh, look at this guy, he's kind of cool, right? He started getting some attention, you know, started making a name for himself in the community, started making some friends with some bigger people, you know, it kind of just snowballed from there, right? Now, one thing I do want to say, right, this is just something to keep in mind. This is something I notice a lot on the internet, but something to just keep in mind. Most of the time, when people really got it like that, you know, when they really got money, they don't really try to bring attention to themselves because everybody already knows that they got it like that. So they don't really feel the need to prove to everyone, oh, look at me, look at all this money, look at me, I'm so cool, right? That's not really the mentality that they have. Whereas it's always the people who are the most vocal and who always try their hardest to flex on everyone else. Those are usually the people that don't actually have that type of money. Just something that I've noticed personally over the years. Obviously, there are exceptions, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, Bill Gates doesn't walk around with some Balenciagas, you know what I mean? So anyways, back to the story. This guy makes a little name for himself in the community, and he even gets himself an e-girl. We'll come back to her in a minute, okay? She's an accessory, but basically he built up enough trust with all these people that they really considered him a friend. He even went to events and he met these people in real life. He even met his e-girl in real life, all of that, right? So I guess it really all did seem pretty legit, right? Until I tell you guys some of the details, okay? And then you might have some questions if you're like me. So here's where the finesse went down, right? So after like a year of building this whole fake identity up, he decided to start his own clothing. Now, all of these people that he has finessed are going to support him and they buy his merch, and you know, all sorts of people are buying it. And you know, I don't know how much money he actually made from this, probably in the thousands, I would say, because you know, hoodies are pretty expensive. So let's say a hoodie's like 50 bucks. You only have to sell 20 of them, and that's $1,000 right there. You know what I mean? It's not like crazy sales numbers needed here. So at this point, you kind of figured out where this is heading, right? So the people that purchased this clothing never actually got anything. Now, I will say, I believe a couple people actually did get their orders, but this was all part of the scam, right? So a couple of the orders got fulfilled so that he could then claim that the rest of the orders were on the way, they were just delayed. But now it's been so long and now everyone like researched it and kind of, you know, looked into the situation. It's pretty much been confirmed that he just ran off with the money, right? So that's kind of the condensed version of it. Now, I want to go back and give you guys some of the details, and you guys tell me if this is adding up, because personally, I don't think so. So, when you see that someone has a lot of money, or they tell you that, oh, look at me, I got all this money, right? What is the first question that pops into your head, right? It's, well, you know, how do you have this money, right? What's your job? What do you do, right? So, this guy claimed that he was working at NVIDIA and that he also worked in real estate. Now, keep in mind, this dude's like 20 years old, okay? So that's a red flag for me right away, okay? 20 years old, and this guy's some like millionaire NVIDIA computer scientist, and oh, by the way, he's like a real estate tycoon on the side. He got all sorts of properties and everything. Oh, by the way, did I mention he's only 20 years old? So yeah, right away, this shit ain't adding up, right? That seems pretty unlikely. I'm not saying it's impossible or anything, but that's kind of a crazy situation, right? So this guy really wasn't even a good catfish. At least his story didn't really make much sense. You know, I don't know about how all of the other stuff went down, but all I had to hear was that right there, and I already have some questions, but he wasn't done there, okay? He also claimed that he had a GTR. This is the one that really got me, right? I would say that every single GTR owner on this planet has a picture, at least one picture of their car, right? I would say the majority of car owners in general have a picture of their car, right? You know, that's a big deal for people. You know, they want to take a picture, they're proud of it, right? But especially when you have a crazy car like a GTR or something, you're going to have a lot of pictures of it, right? You're going to feel really proud, right? It's a big deal. Now, from what I was told, when this guy was asked to provide proof of his GTR, he would take a picture off of Google and crop it so that you couldn't reverse image search it. And I guess these people are like, oh, I mean, I guess it's legit then, right? It's not coming up on Google. I guess that must be his car. So once again, pretty big red flag right there. Honestly, now that I'm kind of thinking about it, you people almost deserve to be scammed for being so stupid. Like, those two things that I've said right now, like, I already don't believe anything about this guy, but somehow people believed it and bought into this dude's whole thing. We really got to do better as a community. We can't be letting this happen. So anyways, the final straw for all of this is really just the craziest thing, right? So y'all remember how I said he, you know, finessed himself an e-girl, right? Well, eventually they meet up in real life, right? And once she met up with him in real life, she realized that everything he was saying over the internet was a lie, right? It's a lot harder to keep all this up in person. So instead of actually exposing him and telling everyone, hey, you know, this guy isn't who we think he is, she instead helped him keep it all a secret from everyone. Now, keep in mind, these were supposed to be her friends as well that got scammed by this dude, right? So she knew the whole time that this dude was a complete fraud, and she still let everyone keep associating with this guy and get scammed by him. Like, that is the craziest thing to me. I guess that might be the one thing that makes it a little bit understandable on how people got finessed by this guy, because they're like, oh, you know, she met him in real life. I guess everything checks out, right? I mean, I guess it's all legit. No, actually, it does not. She just didn't tell you. Instead, she helped him finesse you. Like, that's so crazy, man. Listen, we just gotta be careful, man, all right? We gotta do better as a community. If something seems like it's not adding up, that's because it probably doesn't add up, okay? There's a reason, right? Keep in mind, we're in the gaming community, all right? There's a lot of real weirdos out here on the gaming side of things, right? It's not like we're in the knitting community or something like that where it's like filled with like 60-year-old grandmas, right? This is gaming. This is a toxic community, so you gotta be careful who you talking to out here, man. You never know. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like rating if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're not already. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description down below. Other than that, have a good day and peace out.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.